Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Social networking is all the rage. Of course, we've talked about it here quite frequently. Many of you belong to social networks, whether you realize it or not. YouTube can be considered a social network of sorts in the sense that you can add friends, you can follow friends, you could delete friends, and deleting friends. Wish I had that tool when I was a kid. There's a few friends I'd love to have deleted. Anyway, there is a social network out there called Stumbleupon, and we had a community member at large email me just today to tell me about it. He said, "Hey, have you heard about this thing called Stumbleupon? It's really interesting." The idea is you can install a toolbar in your browser, and basically when you hit a website that you like, you can say, "I like this site," or "I don't like this site." I believe you can go one way or another with Stumbleupon. I've got an account, but I never really use it. But the idea is that the more people that like the page and that comment on the page, if you want to stumble into pages related to things that you're interested in, the idea is that the community will have already vetted through those pages, and automatically the ones that get the more traffic are going to rise to the top. So let's say you wanted to look for information on an iPhone. You're looking for interesting iPhone websites. You would go to Stumbleupon, you go to your account, you would type in iPhone, and then press Stumble. And you would just browse randomly from site to site to site to site, sites that are related to or have been tagged with the word iPhone. And in that sense, it's kind of directed serendipity. And I can tell you that over the longer period of time, Stumbleupon drives a pretty good amount of traffic. Having been featured on front pages of Dig and Delicious and all the other popular social networks, I can tell you that Stumbleupon not only drives the most traffic over a period of time, but they drive the most qualified traffic over a period of time. And for that reason and that reason alone, if I had to support one social network, it, believe it or not, would not be Dig, would not be Delicious, it would be Stumbleupon, wholeheartedly. I don't mind any kind of Stumbleupon visitors. I don't mind when any one of our videos get stumbled upon. I think it's actually a useful network in that capacity, helping be a social recommendation engine for sites on the web. Now I've got SC Thor and Wireless Packet on with me, and I don't know, have you guys? Do you guys even have Stumbleupon accounts?
I don't have a Stumbleupon account. I just heard about it tonight, and I'm just checking it out right now.
Really? See, it's been around forever.
Yeah, I heard about it a long time ago, but I never bothered installing the toolbar or anything. I don't have an account.
Well, it's interesting for people that if you surf the web, basically quote-unquote, for a living, or you just do nothing but surf the web, then it is absolutely perfect, because it's a chance for you to discover sites that your friends have recommended or stumbled upon. More interestingly, there's a component to it that if you're visiting a website and other Stumbleupon members have commented on that website or left comments, they will leave commentary that's hidden from that original website, but yet accessible through the Stumbleupon account. Because I've logged in before to look specifically at what people were saying about my blog, and saying, well, what are people saying? And for the most part, it was okay. It's like, wow, Chris is awfully egotistical. I'm like, well, yeah, it's my personal blog, dummy. I don't know where else you're supposed to talk about yourself other than on your personal blog. So it was the fact that if you were interested in my blog, then it would make recommendations on other blogs that you might like or other websites that you might like that were related to the thing that you were on, depending on how it was tagged or what your friends had looked at. So from all, like I said, for all the social networks that are out there, I think it provides a great amount of validity. If I were to add a button to my page, I would add a Stumble This button, no doubt about it. Forget about Delicious, forget about Dig. Dig's interesting, but usually the traffic goes and it drops.
This is what Dig was supposed to do. It just never quite got there.
Well,
They added some more of the social stuff to it, but it still doesn't really have a recommendation engine like Stumbleupon does.
It's interesting because Dig, I think, is more tuned to people with a short attention span.
Well, it's not. Basically, with Dig, you don't go to Dig and search for something. You go to Dig and see the top 20 stories or whatever. Right. With Stumbleupon, it's more. Yeah, it's like a peer-reviewed search list or something.
I see things on Dig slowing down though.
Really?
Just people haven't been submitting like they used to in the beginning, in my opinion. I mean, you used to get. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
my,
if you get on at certain times of the day, my Google widget is only half full of stories.
Oh.
Basically, the front page threshold isn't even full all the way.
Wow.
Like, first thing in the morning, out on the East Coast, it's like there's only 4 or 5 stories instead of 10.
See, now this is again where I go back to I would rather have traffic over a period of time rather than a spike. Because spikes...
Right, because the spikes are just kill servers and nothing else.
Well, it's not just that, but it's against that short attention span mentality.
The people aren't reading the website. They're looking... they get an eyeful and decide whether they want to even stay or not, and then they leave.
And this has been around, like I said, for years. I mean, years and years and years. And
it's been around for a long time.
So, and looks like they just released a new version of the toolbar for both IE and Firefox. Tuxedo Jericho just said, Stumbleupon toolbar just crashed my Firefox. It's one of the reasons why I'm not really thrilled about plugins. In fact, like I said, I haven't even logged into my Stumbleupon account. But if I remember correctly, I think you could either vote up or vote down. I know you can vote up. You can say, yes, I like this.
Yeah, I see that now. I just installed it in OS 10.
Okay, so you can vote up or vote down, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Of course, you'd only really want to vote up the things that you liked. And the idea is that if you go... so if you don't have a Stumbleupon account yet, you can sign up for one. It's free. Install the toolbar. Hopefully it won't crash on you. And the idea is that if you're watching a video on YouTube that you like one of the videos that we record, you can say, yes, I like this. And then you tag that video. So let's say the video happens to be right now, well, it's about Stumbleupon. So you would tag that video, Stumbleupon, video... social networking, social friends, serendipity, if you know how to spell that word. If not, don't even try. The idea of serendipity is that you just kind of stumble into something, that whether you meant to or not. And I think that's the beauty of the web, is it's so serendipitous. Someone sends me a link at random, I check it out, I'm like, well, that's interesting. And then pretty soon, before I know it, I've lost like a whole day. I did that the other day when I featured that MIDI Jam program for Windows that visualizes MIDI files in musical instruments. Yeah. I had 4 people email me and say, you zapped 5 hours out of my life just so I could listen to MIDI files I haven't heard in years.
Yeah, or you go to the link they give you and you read something and then you follow a link and then another link and you end up in some part of the web that you've never been to before.
And then you backtrack going, how the hell did I get to this point? So hopefully you got to the point of watching this video and you enjoyed it and you will stumble it so that the next person might appreciate or learn about Stumbleupon. Of course, they already have a Stumbleupon account. They really wouldn't need to learn about this. But if you hadn't heard about it, I think it is one of the more interesting social networks. And I believe it was also acquired by eBay a few months ago. Hopefully that won't turn sour like the Skype acquisition did. But it's definitely, I think, one of the social networks with staying power because it doesn't cater to the short attention span audience. Now, if you know of a better type of Stumbleupon service, or if you remember the way there used to be a similar service back in the Web 1.0 days, although I can't remember the name of it, people didn't like it at all, but this apparently has better karma going for it. Who knows? But if you know of any other services, social networks that you find interesting beyond Stumbleupon or any other ones that we've named, I'm always interested in taking a look, whether they're new or they've been around for a few years. The greater web doesn't really know about a lot of these niche sites. The sites that techies talk about a lot, my mom and dad aren't necessarily going to know about. And that's why I really don't mind talking about things sometimes if they're a couple years old. Wireless Packet, he's a full-fledged geek, and he'd never heard of Stumbleupon before.
Never.
And now does it look like something you could use on a regular basis? If only if you're looking to discover new information about things?
Yeah, and if I like something a lot, I could definitely write a little review about a certain site that I stumble across, or something that I've been going to for years, and I just want to let people know about it. I can just put it on Stumbleupon.
See?
Well, yeah, I think the comment system is also powerful for sites that don't have comments or sites that moderate the comments and remove all negative comments or something.
Yes.
People will still have this side channel to leave
a little
outlet
to actually maybe get a little more truth, about a certain site or something. Just if they want to post something negative because they don't like something, this is a different avenue for them to do that.
Well, you know, it's one of those things that it's always nice to have when it works in your favor. And I think if you have an overwhelming amount of reviews that are good, then I don't think it's, you know, and then you're going to have a couple of bad apples. It's just going to happen. That's why I've been happy with iTunes. I think I haven't checked our stats on that, but the other day we had about 188 reviews of the podcast, this particular video podcast on iTunes. And most of them were 4.5 or 5 stars. So that means if some Yahoo comes along, not from the company, but just some random web wacko comes along and says, "Oh, it sucks. It was horrible. I didn't like it. I can't stand the sound of his voice. Where's he from? Iowa?" That was a really bad East Coast accent. Obviously, sorry about that, wireless packet, and everybody from the East Coast.
Bad.
I could do better. Just give me some time. Anyway, leave a comment, follow up, remark, or if you're on Stumbleupon, leave a Stumbleupon for this particular page and tell everybody I said hello, because I probably haven't logged in my Stumbleupon account by the time you've watched this either. And of course, you're... What's that?
Stumble the next videos so that they actually have something that they don't already know about.
Yes,
maybe.
exactly. Or maybe they can send this video on to people who want to know more about Stumbleupon so that they can become Stumbleupon members and the whole world of Stumbleupon will get happier and healthier. And of course, you're welcome to stop by our chat room anytime, day or night, where we're typically active, whether I'm interactive in front of the computer or not. And now throughout the day, we've taken to just flipping the camera feed to another one of our community members at large. You know, we had a few people on, I believe, today, including SWAT, who is one of the only, I think, members of SWAT in our chat room. He kills people for a living. I'm just kidding. He doesn't do that. He's going to kill me if I even say that. Anyway, you're welcome to swing by that chat room anytime, day or night. Have fun with us, share information, help other people. And that website where you can find the chat room and hopefully stumble that as well is live.pirillo.com. Will you later?